Hi YouTube, how are you doing? And welcome back to Phasmophobia. Today we are back with another weekly challenge, but this one is a little different, not because the challenge is so different, but because the developers completely broke this weekly challenge. You're not going to be able to get any rewards, and you're not even going to have the right items on this one. So that's really weird, and I think it's going to be broken until Saturday, because that is when DK comes back into the office, and DK is apparently the only person who can fix this. I'm still going to record the video because this is a pretty interesting challenge, and I can show you how to beat it when they do eventually fix it. And I hope you join us for that. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. But let's not waste any more time. And let's hop into the game. Let's go. Alrighty, here we are. We got Georgia Walker. So yeah, I don't know what exactly went wrong with this one, because as you can see, we have all of the items, and the challenge description is that you don't have any defensive items, which means we shouldn't have any of these. We shouldn't have any smudge sticks. We shouldn't have any crucifixes. I'm gonna assume you also don't have any candles, and you also shouldn't have any sanity pills as well. So I'm just gonna ignore those, pretend like they don't exist, and show you how you would beat a challenge like that. Now, besides that, I'm also gonna assume there's no hiding spots. I'm pretty sure there will be hiding spots, but that's just, again, because this challenge is completely broken. They're not supposed to be hiding spots. Otherwise, why would they call the challenge a vulnerable challenge? So yeah, what does a challenge like that mean? I really like how they've done these challenges, even though this one is obviously broken. As you can see, we got a hiding spot right there. Every single one of these challenges kind of focuses on a different aspect of playing Phasmophobia and teaches the players a different thing. So this one, because you start with 100% sanity, but you don't have many... Oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck? Actually scared the shit out of me. But you don't have many ways to defend yourself. That means you gotta preserve your sanity, so don't go walking into ghosts like this while they're doing a ghost event, because it would drop your sanity. You gotta preserve your sanity. Oh, game of 4. You gotta know how to loop, because if you want to do a hunt, because you need to do some kind of hunting test, you need to know how to loop, and Willow Street House is a really good map for looping, so it shows a great map for that. And then, thirdly, you could just try and speedrun, because if you can get all the evidence before the ghost even hunts, you can get out without any danger, which, there's gonna be all the evidence, I'm pretty sure. I don't see why not. It would be cool to see a challenge like this on Nightmare Mode, but that would be a whole lot harder. Now, the ghost just did a ghost event here. That doesn't mean the ghost is in this room. A lot of people get this confused. When the ghost does a ghost event, it could actually mean it's in a much larger area around you. It could even mean it's in the basement right now, because when the ghost does a ghost event, it teleports towards you from a really far away range. When the ghost throws like a plate or something, you know it's in a very close area around that plate. It could still mean it's on the opposite side of the wall or something, but it's usually close by the plate. But ghost events are a whole different story, because the ghost can teleport to do the ghost event. Keep that in mind. Very important. Okay, we're just gonna take in this one. Maybe check for some thingies, and not set up any crucifixes. Remember, if you want to play along with this challenge, I mean, you could set up your own equipment, but you can still play on the weekly challenge, because you won't lose any items. But I think the reward multiplier was set to 0 as well. I don't know how they messed this up so bad, because it's been working flawlessly so far without any updates. They don't do any updates for these weekly challenges. They just work by themselves. So it's also a shame that this is the 1 week that DK is out of the office for so long, because I'm also a little confused why Lavender can't fix it, because I know like Skinner and CJ are artists, so they're not going to be knowing how the in and out of all the code works, but I would assume that Lavender would also know how to fix this. All right, well, that looks like it's gonna be EMF 5 right there. It's almost certainly 2 big, really high spikes. We're gonna take this stuff. Smudge stick, cannot do that one, not allowed. And we're gonna grab this one, because again, we don't know exactly where the ghost is, so we're gonna use our thermo. Yeah, it's fun to... It's been a very different experience for me to do some off-stream videos, and it's been a really interesting one. It kind of feels like how it used to feel when I was like a streamer that just started off streaming for no viewers. However, the difference between that and now is that throughout the years of streaming, it's very weird. When you first start streaming or first start doing like content creation, talking to a camera or just talking to yourself is really strange, and it like kind of gives you some anxiety, and it's hard to get over that. It's like hard to focus on the game. I remember it feeling that way. It's hard to focus on what's going on in the moment-to-moment gameplay of the game. But eventually, slowly, you're starting to get over that. So I can never revisit what it would exactly be like to be a starting streamer with 0 viewers and have this kind of like ease of talking to a camera that I didn't have back in the day. I mean, my English also sucked like ass. People often tell me like, wait, you're Dutch? How is your English so good? Just speaking it, mate. Just speak in English, and you'll slowly learn how to speak it. If you watch my first videos, which are still on the channel, as I said, it could also be in the basement, you piece of shit. You are in the basement. I have the heaviest Dutch accent of all time. You can probably barely understand me. And that just changed over like the course of 4 years of streaming. I'm gonna walk into it now because I really don't want it to leave this. I really don't want it to leave this room, even though that's gonna drain my sanity. Wouldn't do that at home if I were you. Oh, I have two here. What the hell is? Oh, it's a door touch. Yeah, this kind of the off-stream videos are kind of a way to simulate what it would have been like to stream with 0 viewers while also knowing how to stream a little bit. A little bit. I've done it for 4 years. I kind of know a little bit. All right, let's see. What do we have right here? And it seems like you guys also really enjoy it. It's obviously a different idea. There's orbs, obviously, because I know people are going to be watching it. It's not like no one will see this moment. Let's see. We have that. We have ghost orbs. We have EMF. So it's a Raichu or a Bake. Well, let's see. If there was any doubt, it was like, they're onto me. Might as well show you. So this is an option you could do. This is the first option. Just getting the evidence as fast as you can. Right now, I'm still at like 80% sanity or something. I could just leave, but I really quickly want to show you what you would do if you weren't. It's also gonna be the crawly ghost. That's gonna be annoying. If you needed to get a hunt for some reason and you wanted to loop. Now, I wouldn't recommend, there's things you got to keep in mind. Oh, there's a voodoo doll. Things you got to keep in mind when deciding to loop or not. And one of the things is, do you have a good looping spot? But another thing that's often overlooked is, what is the ghost model you are up against? I think this is something I keep in mind a lot, but a lot of people don't even consider it. We are against Georgia Walker, which a female ghost is always more dangerous than a male ghost, because there's 2 female ghost models that are insanely annoying to loop against. It is this one that we have right now, the crawling tiny girl, or it is the Lisa model that can also crawl on the floor. Now, why is that so hard? Because when I'm looping, I cannot see the ghost. When I'm looping around here, let's just do it. Especially if you do it in the garage like this, you're not going to be able to see the ghost behind the object, which will give you a lot less information than you would have. Is this ever going to be a hard pin? Excuse me? What the hell? The last spin hard pin? Literally the last spin was the hard pin? Are you kidding me? Okay. Hello there. Gonna come up? Coming up the stairs? Alright, come over here. Hello, ghost. Hello, ghost. Come over here. So this is going to be a Gory or a Obake, which is going to be interesting because we're going to see its change ghost model. I don't know if it's going to speed up like this. Is it going to change ghost model? I'm not seeing it at all. Oh, there you go. You saw the lady. Okay, so it seems like it's easier to loop these though. Now that I'm seeing it, because if you were doing this against the standing up ghost, the ghost would get faster and faster and faster. So maybe I kind of overestimated this, because it's really annoying for you to loop a ghost like this. But it also didn't speed up a single time, whereas Obakis can obviously speed up. If you were doing that against a standing up ghost, it would have sped up so much, and it would have gone faster and faster and faster. So it seems like if you can loop it based on sound, you will be all right. So that's actually, it's not that bad, actually, now that I think about it. Now, that was just a standing up loop, which is not something you should do. You should kind of crouch down, and if you want to use the car as a hiding spot, it's actually a really good hiding spot, because you can turn off your flashlight. Oh, well, I guess we're doing it again. Like, let's say you're wanting to get away from a ghost. So we're gonna get the ghost to come up the stairs, please, and come over to me. Hello, ghost. Hello, hello. All right, so it's gonna come over here, and it's gonna start looping me. Oh, it was a lady. So it knows I'm here. If I turn off my equipment, I stop talking, and I start looping it without it ever showing myself to the ghost, by just listening to the audio and keeping the car in between me and the ghost, it lost me. Why does that work? The way the ghost AI works is that it will check out your last known location. It didn't used to do this, by the way. The ghost would just have no object permanence at all. If it didn't see you anymore, it would just start roaming elsewhere. But now they have somewhat object permanence. If you duck behind an object, or you go behind a wall, or you go through a door or something like that, the ghost will lose you, and it will like set your last known location as the place it's gonna check out. So it's gonna go over here, and it's gonna see if it can find you, and then it's gonna check in the area around where it last saw you. If it doesn't see you for a while, it'll assume you're gone, and it'll leave and go to a different area, which means that right there, if you do it, if you break line of sight and keep the car between you and the ghost, eventually the ghost will think you're out of the room and leave the room, and you're gonna be safe. And because, I mean, if you're crouching, the ghost is not going to be able to speed up, so you should be completely safe. All right, well, that was an Obake. Very fun ghost. A very good start for us. Also, we did it insanely fast. I don't think this is the hardest challenge. I think if it was working as intended, it would be a pretty easy $3,000. That's why I hope they're going to fix it and then give us some extra... I don't know, because if they give us extra time, then it's not going to really matter. Because then the next weekly challenge is going to be delayed. Because especially with the level reset coming up soon, the weekly challenges are really important. Because they've been one of my main ways of getting a lot of levels. Because the weekly challenge gives so much money. Is Fog a setting on this weekly? That's the second time we got Fog. Because they give 30 levels and 3,000 bugs. For, like... usually 3 pretty easy runs. I'd say probably the hardest one we've seen so far is the no evidence, no sanity one. Most of the other challenges have been relatively easy, speedrun challenge being by far the easiest. And this one might actually be maybe even... no, it's not easier than the speedrun challenge, because in the speedrun challenge you literally had everything. But it's like second easiest after the speedrun challenge, because this is pretty much the same as the speedrun challenge. We got a breaker right here. I haven't heard a ghost yet. Is it just gonna be Voodoo Doll every time? I could use the Voodoo Doll right away if it's gonna be Voodoo Doll. Let's see it. Have you guys been liking the weekly challenges? Also, I would love to hear, do you guys actually play on insanity mode? Let's use this first. Do you guys actually play on insanity mode? Because I personally really love insanity mode and nightmare mode because it because of the lack of evidence. Because if a challenge like this exists, or like challenges like this where you have all the evidence, it could be one of the hardest challenges of all time, but it's still gonna be relatively easy for most people because you can just rush the evidence. You can just rush the evidence, get it super fast, and get out. So even though not having smudge sticks is a pretty big deal, like I mean, it's an easy challenge, don't get me wrong, but smudge sticks are extremely powerful, and if you're not using smudge sticks every game, you're doing something wrong. If you don't use them to defend yourself, or if you don't use them to save your friends during a hunt, or yourself during a hunt, you're missing out on one of the main things you can do to defend yourself during hunts, besides, obviously, getting away from the ghost. I'm gonna grab all of this. But that's why I really like Insanity Mode and Nightmare Mode, because it kind of, like, forces you to stick around for a little longer. Instead of going super fast, you'll have to get a hunt, you'll have to actually engage with the ghost, engage with the mechanics of Phasmophobia, and figure out what ghost you're dealing with. That's why I've personally been loving Insanity Mode, even though it is extremely hard, and I have been failing a lot. We got orbs again. That's fun, because I've won so many... Oh, it's touching doors, nice. Because I've won so many games that at this point, winning isn't special anymore. Losing is special. We got orbs and fingerprints again. Another Obake, excuse me. But I know there's... Oh, I know there's people that play this game in so many different ways. Because recently, I did some public lobbies off stream. Oh, no, is it freezing? I did some public lobbies off stream. Which was a very interesting experience because I encountered some... Oh, yeah, it is freezing. Well, that's the Hantu right there. Easy peasy. It could be a mimic. Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Are you French? Are you grandma? Are you pizza? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Unless it's in a different room here, maybe. Let's try outside here. Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Alright, I guess I mean, certain ghosts. So a ghost like this is going to be interesting. I think we're going to just trigger one hunt. Just to do a do a Hantu test, because some ghosts are interesting during a hunt, like the Hantu, because it doesn't speed up. The speed of the Hantu is purely based on its, on the temperature in the room. Oh, here we go. You hear how fast it is in there? It's super fast in the freezing room, then it's gonna get out, and boom. It's a slow grandpa. That's because this is a Hantu. Did I say Obaka? I meant Hantu. Which is not gonna speed up when it sees me. I wonder if you could have looped the tiny girl ghost around an object like this without it speeding up. I'm assuming it would speed up, because this ghost should obviously be speeding up, but it's not because it's a Hantu. But yeah, people don't know how to loop, which looping, the main thing you're looking for is not going too fast and doubling back. But honestly, looping like this is kind of dead. You shouldn't really loop the ghost like this. If you want to loop the ghost like this, it's getting faster, by the way, because it's cold. You gotta change ghost, you gotta change room. Like, you gotta go from room to room, keep breaking line of sight, because remember, the ghosts get faster over time the longer they... Jesus Christ. The ghosts get faster over time the longer they see you. So, unless it's a specific ghost like this where it doesn't do that, which means you shouldn't really do stuff like that. You should be crouched, behind an object, turn off your flashlight, because most hunting checks don't require much looping. You just have to, like, see if it's a yokai by having your equipment freak out close by it, see if it can find you. You have to listen to the footsteps or do something like a Hantu test or a Jin test or something like that. But you don't really need... also, is this... No, this is not working at all. You see, I'm doing the weekly challenge, but it's not changing anything. Let's hop into the last run. So you don't have to continuously loop the ghost, because that would be extremely risky. Since eventually it will get so fast and kill you. Especially if you don't have smudge sticks. If you have smudge sticks, that's a different story. You can do stuff like that. Still wouldn't recommend it. But you can. Also, the game is freezing. Did you guys freeze? I was like, oh, we have gone a few games without freezing. But man, sometimes these freezes... I don't know if this is going to be one of them. Okay, that was a relatively short freeze. You say, what? That was a really long freeze? No, I've had 30+ second freezes. I have a beast of a computer. I really don't understand. I wish they could look into the freezes somewhat, because it is extremely annoying, especially in multiplayer. Because you just freeze and you can't talk anymore. The other players. But I was playing public lobbies, and I'm going from one topic to the other, but I was playing public lobbies off stream, and even on stream, for April Fools, by the way. If you didn't check my April Fools video yet, highly recommend it. I fooled everyone into thinking... No, not everyone. There were a lot of people playing along as well, but I fooled quite a bit of people into thinking there was a PvP update for Phasmophobia, which was very funny. Is it gonna be fingies? It is not gonna be fingies. Okay, or it could be an Obake. But for April Fools, I was playing public lobbies, and I encountered some very different gamers. I encountered some gamers that just play like me, where they're just really good at the game, but I also encountered some low-level players, which nothing against low-level players, because you got to start the game somewhere. When you start the game, you start at level 1. We've all been there. And what I saw is that they would just die, like, all the time, which nothing... That's what I used to do. I used to know... You know, I still remember... I still remember this one game on Edgefield. It was like my 3rd game or something, and I was trying to figure out how to hide from the ghost. You know how I tried to hide from the ghost? This is how. Holding the door. I would go into a room, and I would just hold the door, and I would just say, like, all right, this better stop the ghost. And then the ghost would go through it, and I'd be like, what? I died. And sometimes it would work, and I'd be like, see, I did it. I did it correctly. But I would just be completely wrong, obviously. Now, that was back in the day when ghosts did not hear your... Or they didn't hear your voice. They didn't listen for your equipment. So I can only imagine how hard it is now with the additional abilities of every ghost to actually get away from a ghost if you not know what's... Like, if you don't know how the game works. So it must be so much harder to start out playing Phasmo now. But yeah, I was playing with people who would just die all the time. Because if you don't know how to hide, if you don't know how to loop... you don't know even what a hunt sounds like. I've had people... I was playing a game on Edgefield during April Fools, and the people... I would start a hunt. I started a hunt with the summoning circle, and then I told people through the global comm, there's a hunt going on. It's coming from downstairs. Hide. You know what happened? They would walk down the stairs, figure what is this commotion all about? What's going on over here? Was it orbs there, by the way? I thought. Yeah, but what is this? That same evidence every single time, excuse me? Oh no, it's not fingerprints this time. They would come down the stairs, walk into the living room where I was looping the ghost, and just die. That's, like, people just don't, like, I don't know if they were trolling. Maybe they were trolling, or maybe they were just like, what is going on? I want to see this thing. And they just die. Or people just don't really mind too much dying. I know people are really scared of this game when they start out, and as someone, like, playing Phasmo off stream has definitely made the game more scary as well. Because it is a very different feeling. I can't take any defensive items. This is definitely where I would personally take a crucifix in this point, but I can't. This is not allowed. Yeah, I think you... Because when I was playing with another group, they would all hide all the time, which is already step one. Hiding, step one. If you know how to hide, you're already going to survive most hunts, honestly. You need to make sure... Because I had a player that was using, like, not push to talk. He was just having open mic. And his keyboard was so loud that he would get into a hiding spot close to the ghost. And he literally killed his entire team. Because his keyboard was so loud that when he crouched down in the hiding spot, it made so much noise that the ghost would come for them and kill all of them. So I was the only survivor. Also, there's a dots. They got a revenant. Dude, this is going way too fast. Excuse me. So yeah, make sure that you're not using... Can I take a dots photo? That you're using push to talk. I think that's also just like very nice for your teammates, because some people have terrible microphones, which I'm not blaming the Xbox mics, because I'm mostly talking about the people that have echo. I don't know if this is a thing that the devs can fix, if it's something on the users, and I'm pretty sure it's only Phasmo doing this. I've never had it in any other game with like voice, but there's some bug in Phasmo that creates this like echo effect where if someone is talking, it will go through someone else's microphone and be feedback through their microphone into your game. So you will just be hearing yourself on like a second delay, which is extremely annoying. And I'm wondering if a lot of people that get kicked, just like blanket kicked from public lobbies all the time, if they are actually the ones who have these echoey microphones, and you think you might be kicked because you're low level or high level, but you're actually being kicked because your microphone is so shit, because it's giving so much echo, so much feedback, that people just cannot play with you. I physically cannot play with people like that. Hearing myself constantly feedback just fucks with my brain so much. I just can't play with those groups. And it was like half the groups that I was playing in when I was playing public lobbies, half the groups would have at least someone with a microphone like that. So I don't know if that's something that I'm only running into. Maybe it's on my end. Maybe it's something to do with I'm not sure. Also, the game's freezing again. It seems like the game is extremely broken today. Holy shit. Oh, game is actually crashing. Oh, there we go. almost crashed. Anyway. Thank you so much for watching. I'm always rambling when I end one of these videos because I don't know when to shut up. But I hope you enjoyed this one. Again, it's super broken. You're not going to be able to finish this right now. You're just going to have to, I guess, do it for yourself. And then hopefully on Saturday, it will be properly done and you will be able to actually finish this. I don't know if they're going to extend the weekly challenge. Just keep a lookout on Saturday. Also, update the pinned comment down below if I know any more information or something like that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you liked the video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. And if you want to join the live streams, you can join us over at twitch.tv/insim. Click the link in the description down below. Thank you so much. I'll see you around. Bye, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.